When was the Challenger disaster? Why did the space shuttle break apart and how many people died? The tragedy was witnessed by millions of Americans who watched on live television for the Challenger to make history. But why did the space shuttle break apart, and how many people died? Here and X-27 what we know about the 73-second doomed flight. The NASA shuttle orbiter broke apart just 73 seconds into its flight on January 28, 1986, at 11:39 am local time. It was the 10th flight the Space Shuttle Challenger had taken. The spacecraft fell apart off the coast of Cape Canaveral in Florida. The crew compartment ascended to an altitude of 12.3 miles before free-falling into the Atlantic Ocean. The vehicle began disintegrating after a joint in its right solid rocket booster, SRB, failed at liftoff. This was down to the unusually cold weather that the O-ring seals were not designed to handle. As the shuttle ascended, one of the seals opened enough to allow a plume of exhaust to leak out. Hot gases then bathed the cold external tank full of liquid oxygen and hydrogen, until the tank ruptured. Aerodynamic forces then broke up the orbiter. All 7 crew members died when the spacecraft exploded. They were Challenger Commander Dick Scobie, pilot Michael Smith and mission specialists Judy Resnick, Ronald McNair and Ellison Onizuka. Payload specialist Gregory Jarvis and high school teacher Krista McAuliffe, who was set to become the first teacher in space, were also killed in the tragedy. McAuliffe had been selected from 11,000 applicants to NASA and X-27's Teacher in Space project, which aimed to remind Americans the important role teachers played in their country by sending an educator up into space. The launch pad was shown to have collected large quantities of ice due to the exceptionally cold overnight temperatures in Florida of HC. The O-rings had never been tested in such extreme cold, and the cold rubber became stiff on the morning of launch, meaning the joint never sealed. As a result of the tragedy, the Space Shuttle fleet was grounded for nearly 3 years. Then U.S. President Ronald Reagan appointed the Rogers Commission to investigate the accident, who found NASA and X-27's organizational culture and decision-making process were key contributing factors to the accident. Various safety measures were tightened. The SRBs underwent a redesign and a new policy on decision-making for future launches was put in place. You can WhatsApp us on 078107915002.